Hello student, in the last video we discussed the molecular spectra. Now today we have to discuss the width and intensity of the spectral line. Now let us discuss first width of the spectral line. Now let us observe the figure A and the figure B. Figure A represents a spectral line which is a sharp spectral line, whereas figure B is also represent a spectral line, but it is having a width which get broadened, and the width of that spectral line is delta E. There are two factors responsible for broadening of a spectral line. Now let us discuss the two factors which are responsible for the broadening of a spectral line. The first factor is a collision broadening. Now when we talk about the absorption of radiation in ultraviolet and visible region, when the gaseous and liquid molecules collides with each other, during the collision there is a formation of a perturbation between the energy levels. That means the energy levels get disturbed. We call it there is a deformation of the electron charge cloud of the both colliding particles, and whenever the transition takes place between these perturbed energy levels causes the broadening of the spectral line. The second factor is the Doppler broadening. The Doppler broadening deals with the relativity when the observer observes the velocity of the particle moving towards the observer, then when we measure the frequency, it is found that that frequency is more than the real frequency. And if the particle moving away from the observer, at that time the frequency measured by the observer is found to be less than that of the real frequency. In this way, the frequency measured with the observer is depends upon the movement of the particle. It is like that of if a person standing on the railway station observes that the train is moving, and when a person is present inside the railway finds that the station is moving, like that when the particle moves towards the observer, its frequency measured by that instrument is found to be more, and when the particle is moving away from the observer, then the frequency measured by the observer is found to be the less. Now that difference in frequency is called as the Doppler broadening. Now this Doppler broadening is given by means of a kinetic theory of gases, and here is the equation which calculates the Doppler broadening. Here delta nu upon nu is equal to 2 upon c into 2 kt ln 2 upon m raised to power half, where delta phi is called as a Doppler broadening. It is found that delta, it is not delta phi, it is delta nu upon nu is directly proportional to the t, because k is a constant, m is also constant, therefore only variable is the T, that is the absolute temperature. That means the Doppler broadening, it depends upon the temperature. There is a directly proportionality, and therefore to get a sharp spectra or to reduce the broadening, we have to decrease the temperature, and therefore in case of the gases and the liquid sample, the spectra are measured when the temperature is lower. Now this is about the width of a spectral line. There are the two factors which are responsible for the broadening of a spectral line. One is a collision broadening another is a Doppler broadening. Now the next point which we have to study is the intensity of a spectral line. The intensity of spectral line is depend upon two factors. One is a population of energy level, and second is transition probability. Now let us discuss the first, population of energy level. Now according to the Boltzmann, the number of molecules in the excited state is given by the equation n is equal to n0 e raised to power minus delta E upon k, where n is the number of molecules in excited state, n0 is the number of molecules or the particles or the electrons in the ground state, delta E is the energy difference, k is the Boltzmann constant, and T is the absolute temperature. Now this is the general equation for the number of molecules in the excited state. Now the relative population at equilibrium is given by n upon n0. Only rearranging this equation, we will get E is equal to minus delta E upon kt. Here delta E is large. When delta E is large, n upon n0 is small. The number of molecules in the excited state is always less than that of the ground state. It clears from this equation, the number of molecules in a excited state is always less than the ground state. Actually, at room temperature, most of the molecules are in the ground state. Hence, the number of molecules in the ground state is always more. If we talk about the transition, then if molecules move from ground state to the second excited state, and a molecule moves from first excited state to the second excited state, if you compare that, the number of molecules in ground state is more, then the number of molecules in the first excited state is less, and again the number of molecules in the second excited state is less than the first one, and the population is more in ground state, then it is less in first excited state and again less in second excited state. And when the molecules transition shows that there is a transition from ground state to the second excited state, then it is found that the intensity of this line is more when there is a transition from first excited to the second excited state, because the population of the energy level is responsible. Which line is more intense? The line which arises from transition ground state to the second excited state. If there is a third, we can say that third excited state, but this is a second excited state. Therefore, ground state to the second excited state, and ground state to the first excited state to the second excited state. If you measure that, it is found that the line which arises from ground to the second excited state is more intense than that of the line which arises from first excited state to the second excited state. This is due to the population of the energy level. Now the second factor which is responsible for the intensity, it is a transition probability. Now the transition probability is governed by means of a selection rule. For the spectroscopy, each spectroscopy, there is a selection rule. If a transition obeys the selection rule, then that transition is called as a allowed transition, and if that selection rule do not obeys, that transition do not obeys the selection rule, then it is called as a forbidden transition. Therefore, we can say that allowed transition obeys selection rule, forbidden transition do not obey the selection rule, and it is found that whenever there is allowed transition, the intensity is more, and whenever there is a forbidden transition, the intensity is less. In this way, intensity of a spectral line, it depends upon two factors. One is a population of energy level, and second, it is a transition probability. Clear? Now the question is asked, explain the term intensity and width of a spectral line, and what are the factors affecting on intensity, or what are the factors affecting on the width of a spectral line. Now this is about intensity and width of a spectral line. Now we will stop here.